Hello. This is Sun. I'm from Washington State, specifically in Federal Way. Making a video, I don't know, maybe I hope a lot of people get to realize what kind of government corruption is going on. Um, a lot of places, California, Oregon, and Washington. Washington specifically, had this major corruption with the Department of Licensing. So in other words, like a DMV for vehicle registration, vehicle title, things like that. So uh, it's been a while continuing this corruption, and nobody really addressing. Um, and I don't know why. Uh, I refuse to buy things from like a vehicle, from Washington. Big mistake. Several years ago, I brought my RV from California because I was having a hard time selling. Brought to Washington, sold it easily, and then I have set up a non-profit organization out here. I am planning to leave the not only Washington, the United States, for my retirement. But in the meantime, I have a non-profit organization, with the board members. We decided to purchase a used RV, Class B, a smaller version, where it's not going to take a lot of gas. It's easier for anybody to drive around. Before I had a big RV, and usually I end up driving by myself because it's big. People don't know how to park. So bought the small RV, Rialta, the Winnebago 2003. Really convenient, and so it's a used one. It had a low mileage, but nonetheless, it's used, and I bought it for 27,000. Well, the problem came about when I went to register with the Department of Licensing, where they rip off people. Trying to rip me off too. Where technically you're supposed to be taxed on anything that you purchase based on what you pay, not what they think it should worth. What you pay. Just like if you buy a house, you be taxed based on the what you agree upon, the cost of the house, the value that you pay for. That's what you tax. You pay tax for it. You go to a supermarket. I don't care where you go. You buy a car, anywhere. You pay tax based on what you pay, not what this stinking corrupted people in Washington, what the estimated value they think they should be collecting. So in other words, what they do is that they search online, and put the car information, and they search at what the vehicle should be worth. Okay, well, that is major corruption. There's that's government corruption, and plus here in Washington, they're freaking contracted business. They're not legally really official government. And so this RV, they couldn't find what the value should be, and so, or they should, what they were trying to do, they were trying to say that is worth more than 35,000, and I only pay for 27,000. And so what they're trying to do is like, oh, you need to go dealership, and get an estimate, document, what the vehicle should worth. Okay, it would have cost me like, I don't know, $250 or something like that. Appraisal value. That's another corruption. Who the hell they think they are that that you should get appraisal for your a vehicle that you purchase? Okay, it's not their business. So this is kind of corruption goes on. I'm so sick and tired. So sick and tired the Democrat corruption here, California, Oregon, Washington, and New York, and everywhere else. But so what I wanted to show you, basically I ended up having, I don't know, like 3 or 4 trip to that Department of Licensing. So what I did is look and argue and bitch and moan and argue about hey, this thing is has it broken down this and that, that brings a value. And so there's a form, and so once because I know the law, and this moron, they just continue raping, sodomizing people. They think they just go home, do 100% everybody else. Well, so they end up giving me declaration, buyer and seller value that was sold. So that's another form that needs to be filled. They don't hand out this kind of information. And so filled out that information. Why it's a 27,000. They cannot argue with that because the things I described there. And then they say, oh, you need to be pen signature. Okay, that's another corruption. Okay, there's a federal law specifically on the Title 15 describe legal signatures, legal signing. That does not have to be a ballpoint pen signature. Okay, there's also Washington state law under the RCW 1.80 that specify basically about the law of signing a legal document. Okay, so trying to save the trouble, I sent the form, what needs to be filled out, highlight it, and send it to the seller. He's like an hour and a half drive from my location. I emailed the guy, have to ask them to sign it, have everything verified, and then I'll pick it up. Go pick it up. I'll bring it down. This biatch is complaining that this is a digital, and and she says she can prove it by smudging with the finger, putting a water drop and smearing, saying that ink is not coming out. What the hell is that got to do with anything? A legal signature? Okay, and so she giving me a hard time about that. Another violation of the law, because she wasn't satisfied. Basically she's just trying to give me a hard time that they should collect a whole lot more. And well, if the seller is making profit, he's the one should be selling. He's the one that should be paying tax for profit. Okay, so there's a double dipping, of a illegal tax collection in Washington State. I want you to be careful for those. Okay, it's such a corruption. I am so damn sick and tired of this. Government corruption, people corruption, it's just unbelievably, how much they collect is to steal the money from people, and people have, they don't complain. There should be a class action lawsuit against the state and there's companies that they're subcontracted to do vehicles and boat titles change, registration. So this is the kind of stuff I just want to show you. Is it's been going around for quite some time, but it is illegal. They can't be taxing you something that what you don't pay. And I just want to show you. I just want to expose it to you. So I'm not paying. Okay, there's no way I would have paid this in California. $3,280 for a $27,000 that RV used. Okay, I could have registered in California, but here's another corruption in California. If I register in California because the vehicle is 2004, they're gonna red flag it that it needs all kinds of smog emission, some kind of passing. So that's just gonna create another problem. Getting registered. So just be aware, just mindful of this kind of government corruption goes around. The reason for the smaller RV is I can transport elders who has difficulty go to bathroom, holding the bathrooms trip, hour, 2 hours, whatever. They're on the road. This small RV has a restroom, shower, and everything, and they can go to restroom. Half an hour drive. They can go to restroom in the RV on a 3 hour, 4 hours trip. They can go somewhere and enjoy a life, have a quality of life. So, sorry for this long, but I just wanted to expose this problem in the government.